What's up, guys? This is the Nord 30, and today I'm bringing you guys a couple of train routes here on Nuketown. They're gonna be in the green house's yard and the yellow house's yard. Something you guys have probably seen before, but I'm just gonna give you guys my take on it, what I think's dangerous about them, and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully this video will give you guys something to use and whatnot. Checking for that drop. But yeah, this definitely have a very strong love-hate relationship with this map right now. It was not fun getting this gameplay for you guys, but I'll explain that more here in a second. But let's go ahead and get right into this. So this first route right here is going to be in the greenhouse's yard, and I'm going to show a little bit of I usually do a little bit of a loop right there at the bottom, and then you're going to go right through underneath the stairs and just kind of hug that little area right there once we get going. Oh, never mind, take another loop. 1 second. I like to do that just so you can kind of see where all the zombies are coming from, as I kind of pointed out there, some places they will come from. So kind of sneak through there, and depending on how the yard looks, you're going to want to go back through there, but that's also your biggest choke point right there, so you got to watch out. So if it gets clogged, you can just bounce here through this little yard area where that pack-a-punch was spawned at, and then jet back in there. But just make sure you go through slow, otherwise you could get pinned, so just be careful. It's dangerous. Here I am showing you guys the actual wave here around 11 without jug, and so here is where I had a huge problem. I had originally planned on doing like 1 or 2 run-throughs and then just bringing you guys that gameplay, but I could not get to a round that I felt comfortable like with showing you guys some of this stuff because I could not get jug for the life of me. I got to like round 10 or 12 every time and then just couldn't get jug until the 7th time. Yeah, it took me 7 goes at this, which is ridiculous. Ugh. Man, I was planning on having some other stuff recorded by today, but nope, spent the whole day finishing this bullshit. But, I don't know. Hopefully it'll at least be helpful. So that's why if the loadouts look different in a lot of the clips, it's because I kind of got to a point and then I went down and then got to another point. So, anyway, I did finally get jug though, so I was able to show the other train route. Like, you can run both these train routes without jug, but as you can tell, like right now, I'm very like nervous and dodgy when I'm running it without jug. I don't know. And you know, the whole 7 times that it took to get these, maybe that's just because I'm too reliant on jug, or maybe I was just off my game. But I mean, with the maps as small as this, if you don't get jug till around 12 plus, it's just so hard to do anything with. Not that jug makes it perfect though, because I end up having it down. I'll show you guys where I had jug and just get pinned. But anyway, yeah, the route's just running just like this, and the firing lanes you have is right here by this rock right there, or underneath the stairs, like whenever you kind of slide back out. But the better part about running it clockwise like this as opposed to the counterclockwise, even though like counterclockwise you get to use the stairs to jump off, you just get jammed up so much easier by that little rock hard point. So I don't know, it's just too much. So here's a mistake that I was showing you guys. See, this was on the one that I actually got jug with. I know, still ended up going down, but that's just because I never got a ray gun on this one. I could never have jug and ray gun at the same time for some reason. I just couldn't do it. And for both these trains, like, I prefer to run with a ray gun, or at least Mustang and Sally. That way you can kind of shoot your way out of a tough situation, which is kind of like what I'll show you here in a second. So as you can see, just kind of sprinting through and watching those little blind spots. But what I don't do, and what you have to do, is you kind of have to look ahead and see how things are going, as well as look up, especially when you're running underneath those stairs, because as you'll see here in a second, I don't look, and I'm more worried about these 2 guys coming, and I get jumped on. It's very, very sad. Sad face. But it happens, so you have to watch out for that, and have a ray gun or something. That's definitely helpful. But just to kind of like, oh yeah, that's what it was. This was another one of my fails. Is I ended up going through that rock area, and or I bounced out through the yard because the rock area was full, and I went too fast, and they were all just like chilling there. So don't go too fast. But that's what I was doing. See, in conjunction with this, I'm just kind of showing you right here just how depressing this was. This was the 5th attempt round 7, and we just had a drop in the backyard of the yellow house yard. That's another reason why I kind of went nuts and was, you know, made a dumb decision and went down. I just kind of like, oh, I feel like I really got to get Jug right now, and I was really hoping it was Jug. Like, I just knew it. 5th time, it had to be Jug, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. Like, this is what it should be. They haven't given us the other 4 times, and then it's freaking Speed Cola. I was really depressed. I didn't even want to move. I just kind of sat there for a second. I was like, really? And then here, round 7, we get Jug, and I nearly cried with happiness. I was like, thank you, God. Thank you. Because I got to finally show you guys this next train route. So this is the Yellow House train route, which is my favorite of the 2. If you don't have Jug, then the greenhouse one's the best one to do, in my opinion, because there's so much more space. But with Jug, this one right here is perfect, in my opinion, because you have that little step that you can jump through. If it seems like there's a whole bunch of zombies that are just kind of piled up in your way, you can just take a couple jumps and get up over. And you can use those stairs and kind of propel yourself over in case some zombies are clogging up that little hall right there. And yeah, it's just great. This is my personal favorite. And what I like to do here at the beginning, like I'm going to show you guys, is just kind of like the circles we ran at the other the greenhouse yard. But I run these for longer, and I actually, in this clip, I ran it for a long time. Kind of showing you guys, like, in and of itself, this could be its own train, if you're smart about it. And especially if you're like doing it with other players, and there's like a drop they're trying to get to across the yard, but they don't want to interrupt your train. This is perfect. I know I'm getting clipped a lot right now, but as long as you kind of like watch where their pursuit angles are at, you're fine. So yeah, and then right there, you just gotta decide which way around the rock you want to go. Sometimes you gotta cut it early, sometimes you gotta cut it late. It's just you kind of have to watch ahead for either of these routes, because if you don't like have some foresight and are watching, you're like right there, I see that guy jumping down, so I make the cut to the stairs. If you're not watching, then it's easy to get jumped on or get pinned, so just be careful for that. And right here, that's one of our firing lanes right there, and the other one obviously is just right along there, as I use right there. Not the smartest firing that I was doing though, they got a little too close, but yeah, and then you just bounce back out, and that little area like behind that little hedge, like when you make the sprint to that cutoff point or the choke point, it can be a little bit sketchy sometimes, but as long as you kind of like approach it with caution, you should be a-okay. You should be good. Good. You'll be good. But yeah, I don't know, like this map is fun if you can just get set up. It's just so much work and so like depressing when you just can't get Jug, especially when you're by yourself. Like with other people, you can probably slug it out and somehow get there, but yeah, anyway, YouTube, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was somewhat informative, or at least kind of refreshed the brain. I really, since Xbox just got the DLC for Origins, I really wish I could give you guys some of that gameplay before it gets old and stale, but I'm PS3, so I'm going to have to wait. I know, it sucks, but here's why I go down right here, YouTube. Be on the lookout for the new Last of Us stuff that I'm going to bring soon. So, yeah. Thanks, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe.